is just a number. So is salary, and net worth, and the yards you could hit with a 7-iron, and the Tesla stock price. Everybody, we're back with regular programming. I've been getting this question a lot recently regarding age. How old do you have to be to start investment banking? Am I too old to start investment banking? Can I be this age to start investment banking? And at first I was thrown off by these questions because I tend to be an over-optimist when it comes to anyone can do anything. But after some thought, it makes complete sense that this is a popular question, especially now because everyone's doing everything so early and you always feel like you're behind. And I'm no exception. My brother is 14, we're almost 10 years apart. Him and his friends have definitely accomplished more than what I accomplished at their age, and some of them probably have accomplished more than I have ever accomplished, period. Things are happening fast, people are doing things early, and there's no exception for banking. I give a pretty similar answer to those that are in high school and asking, am I too late for investment banking? What should I be doing if I want to get into investment banking? Perhaps the answer that I always give in terms of you're too young to think about these things, it's not too late if you start thinking about these things in college. There's plenty of time for you. How would you even know what you want to do? Perhaps these are privileged answers as someone who's currently in the field and 5+ years out of college. Things might be happening even quicker now, and perhaps it is important to start thinking about those things near the end of high school. But my answer still remains the same in terms of if you're a freshman in high school, a sophomore in high school. I don't think you know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life, nor do I think there's anything in particular you could do at that age that would give you an advantage in terms of investment banking recruiting as a college student. So I would just stay put, focus on your grades, have a little bit of fun as a high schooler, and think about those things a little later on. Now, if you're a current college student, things are a little different, and even compared to when I was recruiting, things have definitely sped up. There are firms that come during your sophomore year, even your freshman year, to start getting a feel of who's interested, to get the networking going, and recruit students before other firms can take them. I know of friends who have been recruited by firms their sophomore year of college and basically locked in a job for post-college before they even finished half of their college career. I think there's pros and cons of this. Obviously, you like having the comfort of knowing exactly what you're doing and getting a job locked in before college even ends. You're gonna have that comfortable mind for the remaining half of your college career, really enjoy it without worrying about your college next steps. I do think it's troublesome in the sense that you're asking a 19, 20-year-old to commit their life, at least 2 years of their life, to a career that they probably don't even know fully about. But it's really the prisoner's dilemma. It's a game theory thing where if you're a firm and you're not coming this early, then you're gonna miss out on the high-functioning, high-quality candidates to other firms who come earlier, so on and so forth. But, and definitely above my pay grade, I do think that there's also merit of coming a little later and recruiting those that are older, more advanced in their college career, that may be more aware of what they're good at, what they want to do, a bit more sure about their commitment to investment banking. Those are just my 2 cents on the college process. The bottom line, freshman year of college, you might start thinking about finance. Sophomore year, the recruiting actually begins. And by junior year, you probably should have a between junior year and senior year summer internship locked in if you want to pursue investment banking full-time right after undergrad. Now, I think at the college senior level, if you didn't have the junior year internship and you haven't been recruiting and you just realize you want to do investment banking, this is at the point where you start facing the array of relatively harsh truths. I think especially now that things are becoming earlier and earlier and everyone who wants to do investment banking are getting these junior year internships that basically function as a transitionary stepping stone to full-time offers. It's pretty hard to enter investment banking right out of undergrad if you're a senior that didn't do a junior year banking internship. I have definitely seen cases of people that have done something else that summer, like consulting, something finance related, or even something a bit off from banking that have really grinded their senior year, did an immense amount of networking, and gotten their way into a full-time offer post senior year. But I think realistically speaking, it's pretty hard to do that if you didn't have the junior year internship, or if you didn't really have relevant financial and even consulting level experience the summer before. At this point, some of the routes that I've seen people take is they take a different job still in the finance realm, maybe wealth management or a financial analyst at a firm, even an accounting role. Otherwise, I've seen people try to get more academically qualified and obtain CFAs or get a master's in finance. And then all while they're still networking, trying to recruit and build their resume and show their interest towards finance, try to explain why they couldn't get that summer internship junior year or why they weren't interested back then, and try to make the jump into investment banking continuously as they build their career separately and do it simultaneously, which probably is very challenging as you're working on your actual job, studying and prepping for the interviews, networking, and recruiting all at the same time. That's the general understanding that I have of the path to analyst. What's more realistic, and what a lot of people do that couldn't get into banking after their undergrad because they didn't go to a target school, they weren't interested at the time, they just didn't do well in their interviews or prep during undergrad, and they found a new conviction for investment banking while they've grown their career out or post undergrad, is the MBA route. So they work in the industry industry, they work in something maybe completely different for 5 years, 6 years, take a GMAT, apply to an MBA, hopefully a top 7 MBA, maybe a top 10 MBA program, and use the MBA as a stepping stone, a recruiting battleground where firms specifically come to MBAs to hire what's known as MBA associates. So you're not recruiting to become an analyst, you're not competing with other undergrads to enter that entry-level role. You're recruiting to become an associate. They understand that you have industry experience, that you have career experience, and they want to consider you for that next step level role because you have industry experience and you have the MBA. Obviously, with career experience and an MBA, I think MBA associates are in a very good spot to transition into investment banking. On the other hand, I think also on the side of harsh truths, they are in essence competing with a lot of A to A, so those that went from analyst to associate, and they've been in banking out of the undergrad womb, as we all know because we've done sports and other things where it clearly shows that the earlier you do it, the better you're at it. There's going to be a learning curve if you're learning something when you're 30 versus when you're learning something when you're 23. So as you become the MBA associate, yes, you're starting at the associate role, but you're going to have to learn everything that the analyst has done because other associates that you're fighting for promotion and those around you have done the analyst track and they're on the associate track now, whereas you're just going straight to associate. It's as if you're jumping into middle school and you have other 7th and 8th graders around you and they've done K through 6. And obviously, if they admitted you into that middle school, they probably think that you know how to spell and you know how to do math. But these guys have done math and spelling for 6 years where you're just starting out. Not a fair comparison because you've obviously had similar experiences in the other work experiences that you've had and also in the MBA program, but a relatively easy to understand illustration that there's going to be some catching up to do and definitely a steep learning curve and frustration points as you enter the field as a 30-ish years old MBA grad student. Outside of that, I haven't really seen other ways to enter investment banking unless you're a industry expert, you've been a CEO of a public company, you've been an advisor to a different company, you've worked in PE and you're coming back. Those are routes to become an MD at a firm. But other than that, if you want to enter as an entry-level analyst/associate role in an investment bank and build your career that way, I think the two main ways is to either go out of undergrad through a junior internship or become an MBA associate following an MBA track. I'm confident that there are exceptions to these things and there are people that have worked their butt off in other ways and entered investment banking, but those two are the traditional ways that I've seen, at least at my firm and from those around me. So if you're considering investment banking and you feel like age is a problem, I hope that I covered a majority of the issues associated with age in investment banking. And at the same time, I hope that this video did not discourage you and make you think that, oh my gosh, I'm too late to become an investment banker. Because without trying to be corny, I think there's always a way if you want to become something that bad. Thank you everybody for watching as always. Stay safe out there as it's getting cold. I may try something a little different next week. As always, see you guys in the next video. Let's go.